explanation of greatness. Take it away. You are informed and edified. I'm going to crack your cranium and fertilize your brain.
Hey, what's up, Hawks? It's your boy Don Hawk here, back with another video, keeping it going with Hawk and the series where we take a look at gaming and music. It may sense pop culture, but wait, didn't the owl just say? These little creatures, also referred to as Chao, are fictional life forms, according to Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. They behave like the youngest people in society, also known as babies. And like babies, they go through complex lifestyle and change based on how they're raised. The cute, childlike Chao were first introduced in Sonic Adventure, and since then, they have been at the cornerstone of the Sonic series, being featured in Sonic Advance and other Sonic-related media like Sonic X and the Archie comics. And of the side characters in the Sonic series, Cream the Rabbit has a Chao named Cheese. Takashi Iizuka, one of the producers of Sonic Adventure and a part of Sonic Team, said that the Chao were added to Sonic Adventure because so that new players will be forced to go out, explore the action sections, and find flickies and things. Very insightful words from Takashi. The Chao received mixed reactions from critics. They praised the diversion from the core game. However, some disliked the lack of interactivity. In today's episode, we're looking at the Chao Garden in Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 because these are the only games with the actual 3D Chao Garden experience. Should the Chao Garden come back? Let's get into this. So there's no story in this video because you guys can go watch the Sonic Adventure video. Now please, go check it out if you want. But anyways, and the Chao Garden in Sonic Adventure is actually relatively simple, well compared to Sonic Adventure 2, which we'll talk about later, okay? It's a nice side piece. When you think about the gameplay in the Chao Garden, you think about the Chao race, and that's pretty much it in this game. It's just a Chao race. You raise a Chao, you go to the black market so you can buy some items for your Chao, and there's actually 3 distinct areas where you can raise a Chao. You can raise a Chao in Station Square, you can raise a Chao in Eggman's, put on Square right now, that's what it's called. And you can raise Chao in the Mystic Ruins. My first Chao was actually in Eggman's base, but I didn't know it, so when I first played it, as you guys can see in the gameplay, I accidentally took the egg into the Chao race thinking that I could race with that Chao, even if the Chao wasn't hatched yet. So it was my fault, but I haven't played the Chao Garden in so long because I didn't really think the Chao Garden was that crazy of something. The Chao race. The Chao race is pretty interesting, okay? It's kind of slow at first because, you know, your Chao is still developing, so it's not like everybody else is going to be super fast. You start with the beginner race, and then there's more tiers, but from my experience, I've only played the beginner race. And the beginning race is, you basically press the A button to move, and from the gameplay, it doesn't really look that exciting, okay? It's not like you're playing the speed stages, okay? But I forgot to mention, but the Chao actually lose energy if you go too fast in the Chao race. So in Sonic Adventure 2, you can actually lose energy and you have to stop in the middle of the race in order for you to, you know, continue. But in Sonic Adventure, from what I played, basically you lose energy, the Chao stops, and then the Chao rebuilds energy. But that gives other people the chance to pass you. But let's go on to the Chao Garden in Sonic Adventure 2 because I'm pretty sure that's why everybody cares about the Chao Garden. They care about the Chao Garden because of Sonic Adventure 2. And the Chao Garden in Sonic Adventure 2 has been expanded upon from Sonic Adventure. You see in Sonic Adventure, you can raise Chao obviously, but there's not much. It's the same system too, right? But the black market, the kindergarten. Alright, there's now kindergarten in Sonic Adventure 2. Sonic Adventure 2 Chao Garden is better than Sonic Adventure, but so we have the kindergarten with the principal's office. We have the Mystic Lady. I call her the Mystic Lady because she can give you a name for your Chao. And I'm like, what? How did you think of that name? In this game, there's Chao Race and Chao Karate. Chao Karate is, in my opinion, better. There's a twist, right? The Chao fight, right? But you actually have to build up a meter. Once the meter depletes, you have to wait for the Chao to, regain energy. So when you're fighting in the Chao Karate, for example, you're fighting against your first opponent. Both of you are going to be so garbage, right? But it doesn't matter because you're going to win anyways, because it's really easy to win the first match, okay? It's when you get to like super hard mode, okay? That's when the Chao Karate starts getting hard. You have to fight, and sometimes your opponent might have more, so you might be screwed. So you might have to conserve some energy when you're playing the Chao Karate. The Chao Karate is actually an interesting thing. I wish it could be expanded upon more, make it more interesting. It's really slow. Like it takes a while for things to start picking up, especially in the Chao race. The Chao in the Chao Garden, there's two sides for the Chao Garden Sonic Adventure 2. Sonic Adventure, it was just the neutral side, but Sonic Adventure 2, there is a hero and dark dynamic. So when you're raising your Chao, you can raise your Chao to be a good guy or a bad guy. It's like raising a baby, you know what I'm saying? You can either raise a murderer or you can raise, Bill Gates. The Chao Garden in Sonic Adventure 2 has a hero and dark dynamic. I haven't had enough time to raise the Chao to make it evil. I'll go back to Sonic Adventure 2, play it on Steam, obviously. I'll raise the Chao and I'll get back to you guys in an update if you guys want to see it. We'll see how it looks, because I've seen gameplay and the gameplay looks pretty interesting.
Welcome to the Dark Garden. This is where we will be filming and telling you how to get a Dark Chao.
Not the Dark Chao I have right now. This is my newbie. I've already fed him something.
So there's a little kiosk in the Chao Garden. You can name your Chao there if you don't want to go to the sidekick in Sonic Adventure 2. And in Sonic Adventure, you can do the same thing. You can also name your Chao. You can also say goodbye to the Chao, basically saying you want to delete the Chao from the Chao Garden. And talk about the kindergarten. You can put your Chao through, kindergarten. You can raise them, make them smart. You know what I'm saying? You can go to the principal's office and see how your Chao's doing. Now, you can't see how your Chao's doing in the principal's office, but you can go to the doctor to see how your Chao is behaving. And when you go to the doctor, right, the doctor is going to give you, obviously, an analysis of how the Chao's behaving, if the Chao's, healthy. You know what I'm saying? If he's performing well, you know what I'm saying? If he throws the fruit, for example, like, this is for both games. If your Chao throws the fruit, just pet him, and then give him the fruit again, and then Chao will most likely eat the fruit. What do I think about the gameplay in the Chao Garden? It's not a selling point, right? The main game is a selling point. The Chao Garden is a nice side piece to it. It's a nice diversion, I guess you would say. If you wanted to know, the music in the Chao Gardens in Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 were composed by John Su. This man deserves all the awards that he can get from Sonic Adventure 2 soundtrack alone. But the music is very relaxing, just like the nature of the Chao. I don't have anything to say about the music. It's the side dish to the Chao Garden. It's the appetizer, and I reckon it's a damn good one. And the graphics in the Chao Garden have aged as well as the Sonic Adventure games. From my point of view, what does Chao Garden deserve as a rating? Crash, pass, meh, check, or smash? The meh is an in-between rating, so it's a mixed dot. For the Chao Garden experience in Sonic Adventure games, I'll give it a check. And when I say check, I mean the game, or in this case, the feature, is good enough or important enough. Check out. It's a side piece to these games. I don't think it's something you'll be waiting for in the next Sonic game, but if it's there, it's a nice addition to the experience. Well, it's the end of the video, shorter than the last two, and thank God for that. Citations in the description. Thanks for watching. Peace out, Hawks. Have a nice day. Goodbye. In my point of view, what is the Chao Garden?
I'm on the ground. Well, I know you wouldn't have the bed. You want to bed? I put someone on this underground on the man.